Turmoil spreading tonight at Twitter, where there appears to be some kind of a mass exodus of workers who are rejecting Elon Musk's ultimatum to work extremely hardcore, which he defined simply as long hours at high intensity. But how many hours and how highly intense? What does that mean? Well, no one knows, but a lot of employees apparently didn't care to wait to find out, and they just said goodbye. CNN senior media reporter Oliver Darcy is here with more. Oliver, there's a lot happening, seems every other day at Twitter. A mass exodus now appears to be underway, and they're rejecting that 5 p.m. deadline of today, that ultimatum. And now I hear they're closing their office buildings. Why? What do you hear from people inside of Twitter?
Yeah, it really feels like Twitter is taking its last gasp here. I mean, if you look on Twitter right now, the top trend worldwide is RIP Twitter. And that's because scores of employees have seemingly resigned from Twitter, rejecting Elon Musk's ultimatum. Let's take viewers back. Musk earlier this week gave Twitter workers, the people who are remaining after those mass layoffs earlier this month, he gave them a choice, work quote unquote hardcore or leave the company with 3 months of severance. It seems like a large amount of people have decided to leave the company. They don't want to work hardcore, and that's thrown the future of this platform into utter chaos. I've been talking to people all day. One former executive who recently exited told me that with all these departures, it's going to be hard just to keep the lights on over there. And so now with all these departures, the people who are remaining, the management has suspended badge access into Twitter's offices, presumably because they're afraid that employees who are technically no longer employed at Twitter could potentially sabotage things. I'll read you the statement or the email they sent to staffers. It says, effective immediately, we are temporarily closing our office buildings and all badge access will be suspended. Offices will reopen on Monday, November 21st. And it goes on to say, we look forward to working with you on Twitter's future. But as you can see, just mass disarray has gripped this company here.
I mean, you say this and talk about the lights coming on, and I think to myself, what about security? What about who's guarding the hen house? Who's ensuring that it even operates and functions in any meaningful way? But there's also this moment, because we're talking about this hardcore intensity, he seemed to soften his stance, Oliver, on getting rid of remote work. Just earlier today, it's just the latest, backtrack in his plans. And so, I mean, I wonder how this whiplash is really landing and affecting people who are still at Twitter, still employed, maybe waiting until Monday to figure out if their badge will work again.
Everyone is confused. That's the short answer. And I was told earlier today that management was really worried that they weren't going to be able to retain talent. They were really, I think it was becoming clear that a lot of employees were actually just going to leave Twitter altogether. And so some sources told me that they were scrambling, trying to get people to stay. And Elon Musk seemed to recognize that. I'll read you part of a note he sent to the entire company when he softened his stance on remote work. He said earlier today, where is it? I had it here. Regarding remote work, all that is required for approval is that your manager take responsibility for ensuring that you are making an excellent contribution. And he went on to explain that basically people could work remotely if management had okayed it. And recently, I think you're even seeing Musk digest some of this news. He just tweeted moments ago about how you turn a large fortune into a small one. And there it is on screen. How do you make a small fortune in social media, start out with a large one, really kind of putting into context what's happened to his $44 billion purchase of the company.
Wow, and you forgot to add that at the end of that discussion about remote work, the idea of, hey, by the way, if any of the employers who are supposed to essentially co-sign that you are working, if they're not truthful, goodbye as well. I mean, you have this sort of coded language. It's not even coded in that instance. But the idea of that new tweet, wow, a lot of chaos happening there. Oliver, nice to see you.
We'll see how long Twitter stays up.
I won't hold my breath.